Our Region's Business is sponsored by PNC for the achiever in you. Our Region's Business. Innovation, transformation, momentum. Improving our communities and driving technologies that will shape our region for generations. The collaboration that brings vitality, prosperity, and life to living. Stay with us for the coming half hour as we examine in depth our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, we'll focus on a couple of success stories in our region, businesses that are expanding here. One's making better building systems, and the other is pushing the digital frontier when it comes to printing. But first, an expanded effort to build the workforce that our region will need in the future. It's called ShaleNET 2. Community colleges, career schools, and other partners in our region and as far away as the state of Texas have won a $15 million federal grant to build a better workforce development system to fill in-demand jobs in the growing natural gas industry. Laura Fisher is Senior Vice President, Special Projects with the Allegheny Conference on Community Development, and Pat Gerity is Vice President of Workforce Development with Westmoreland County Community College, one of the founders of the ShaleNET initiative. And welcome. Good to see both of you.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Congratulations. I have $15 million out of the feds. That's a big deal.
It is, especially coming after $5 million we got for the first round of ShaleNET.
Yes, so it's really a proof, I guess, of some confidence and belief that what you've been doing is working.
That's right. I think we set out to really try and create a system as opposed to just a one-off program to train a certain number of people that could really be scaled. And so I think what the Department of Labor is validating is that our initial concept is scalable, because as you mentioned, we're now growing the footprint of the work we're doing across other shale plays nationally.
Well, and Pat, how did this come about in the first place? What was the problem you all were trying to solve with ShaleNET?
Well, it began with a primary lead-in grant called a Regional Innovation Grant through the Department of Labor that we had for 3 years. We included Ohio, West Virginia, and Southwest Pennsylvania. And out of that, the group that we had meeting were the workforce investment boards and the career links, economic development, and community colleges. And it was decided that we should go after a Marcellus shale grant through labor. And the Westmoreland County Community College was selected to make the application, and we chose our partners wisely. Laura was involved with us with the Regional Innovation Grant in the Allegheny Conference, and we brought in the Pennsylvania Independent Oil and Gas Association, so we had industry representation, and our Workforce Investment Board in Westmoreland joined us to be a core team.
And the whole idea was there were some skills in the shale gas industry that people just were not available for around here?
Right. Well, you know, while we've had a long history of energy in our region, the kind of directional drilling and very high-tech drilling that's happening now is a totally new industry here. And so when this gale called Marcellus Shale started, we just simply didn't have the workforce experience, and the industry was demanding that we figure out how to meet that, or they would have to continue to bring experienced people from other places. And I think what was unique about the approach we took is that we really put on the lens of industry and tried to understand what their challenge was. And part of it was that they had drilling permits across many states. So it wasn't just Western Pennsylvania or even Eastern Pennsylvania. It was Pennsylvania, it was West Virginia, it was Ohio, and it was part of New York if they ever start drilling. So they were trying to figure out how to navigate all these different workforce systems. And so we stepped in and said, we need to create a common training curriculum, an industry-led curriculum that can be shared with everybody, open source, so it's available and accessible to all of our training partners.
Wow, and so what's been the results? I guess a lot of people, I understand, have been placed and now have jobs as a result of just ShaleNET 1, right?
Correct. Yeah, we had a very innovative concept with a talent matching system, and that's you find on shalenet.org. And we've had thousands go through our website and get a realistic job preview. And we've placed and tracked through there over 2,000 people into the gas and gas-related jobs.
Okay.
The real challenge in the beginning that was put forth by the Commonwealth and the region was that when the exploration started, there were only 30% of the workforce from Pennsylvania, 70% from outside of the state. And through our efforts and the gas companies, now it's reversed. 70% from Pennsylvania and 30% from the outlying states.
That is tremendous. So now with more resources and bigger plans, what happens next with ShaleNET 2?
Well, the original ShaleNET program was for entry-level workers, brand new to the industry. And we're really focused on not just creating jobs, but careers. And so ShaleNET 2, or ShaleNET US as we're calling it, will add what we're calling stackable credentials. So people will be able to take more specialized credit-bearing courses, leading to a variety of certificates and ultimately a 2-year degree. So they can really begin to see a career pathway that leads them into a long-term stable job in the industry.
Well, a week ago we were talking about the report that you led the Allegheny Conference on about this occupational analysis, the 14 really hard to fill jobs in the region and what it would take to fill them. I assume some of those 14 jobs are going to be covered by ShaleNET 2?
Absolutely, and the one at the very top of everybody's list are industrial and maintenance technicians, and that's one of the occupations we'll be focusing on in ShaleNET US as well.
Okay, but then there's a real opportunity if you get some of the skills, you can build on that in the future and really make a career out of this, and that's a big part of where you're headed next?
Absolutely, and I think what Westmoreland County Community College has done with some additional funding they've received is really sat down with industry and talked about what are all the specific components that can be mixed and matched so that you can really customize training. And we know because of technology and innovation in the industry, everyone's going to need to be in a continuous learning mode. So the beauty of this system is that there's constant industry input allowing us to update the curriculum, and we're not talking about sending people back for 2 years of additional study. This can be, in some cases, some short-term additional training leading to new certifications that can let you advance in the industry.
Pat, it sounds like you've been pretty successful in building partnerships with industry and getting them engaged. I know the report that Laura's team put out last week said that's really an imperative if we're going to make this work and meet the demand. So what's your secret of success at Westmoreland County Community College?
It's just a simple business philosophy that you got to work with your customer. And the industry is going to hire our graduates. And so we reached out to them, and they've been tremendous, very gracious to work with us. And currently, in our region, we're working with over 60 businesses who are hiring our graduates. And we vet all of our programs, all of our ideas through them. And they turn out and are extremely supportive. We call them occupational advisory committees. So they've been tremendous to work with.
That's really true. Do you think this model could be applied to other types of jobs and skilled positions beyond just the gas industry?
Absolutely. It's really just getting the right people at the table and letting industry really help shape the curriculum. And then industry begins to invest in providing training equipment and ultimately hiring the graduates. So it's a good process.
A few seconds left, Pat, but go ahead.
Bill, one of the most important, smartest things we did was to include economic development. Because of the impact it has on our region. The Allegheny Conference has been tremendous, working with us, supporting everything we did.
All right, well, as the co-producer of this program, well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Pat Gerity from Westmoreland County Community College, Laura Fisher from the Allegheny Conference. Appreciate it.
Yep,
Thanks
thank you
so much. Yeah. Next up, building a better building that can take a licking and keep on protecting. Stay with us.